Thank you, Mel. Thank you so much for coming tonight. This has been a rather humbling experience. There's so many friends and family members and people I haven't seen in 40 years who are here tonight. It's like old home week. I see everybody grabbing each other and hugging. I didn't know you were coming here. I'm just so glad to see this thing sold out. It's amazing how this thing has developed over the last, how many months has it been? I don't even know how many months it's been. I have a couple of announcements I want to go over. Just bear with me for a few minutes. Once I'm done, we're done, then we get rocking here, and it'll just be all music for the rest of the night. 2.5 weeks ago, we sold out 250 tickets. We had so many requests to fill that I decided to add 25 more tickets, and we sold those out in a few days. So 2 weeks ago, this benefit sold out 275 tickets. I think it's an amazing feat that we did here tonight. In addition to the ticket sales, we also raised so far, another $1,155 in extra donations for people who couldn't come and people who paid above and beyond their ticket price. So thank you so much for that. As any husband knows, the first thing you do when you have an idea, you better get it by the wife. So many moons ago, I mentioned to my wife Robin to see what she thought. She reminded me that I'd never done something like this before, though she thought the idea was great and she really got excited about the whole thing. So thank God she said, yes, we should do it. She said, go for it. So thank you, Robin, for saying yes. So now it's time to get to work. When I needed advice about how to put a benefit together, I went to our dear friend Melanie from NTI. She told me all the do's and don'ts for organizing a benefit. I learned so much from her advice. She was terrific, and she even ran a promotional spot for us on NTI for free. So thanks, Mel, for giving me direction as to which way I should take this entire event. Did you see our front page story in the Warren Reporter this week? I had a person, Debbie DeVoe, she's here. Oh, there you are. How you doing? She said, hey, you have a nice write-up in the Warren Reporter. I said, what are you talking about? So I had to go to the end of the driveway and I saw this great story in here. Unfortunately, they said there was tickets available, and there haven't been tickets available for 3 weeks. Anyway, I went to my neighbor, Ron Carlson, who's not here tonight, unfortunately, and asked if he could help me design the tickets and the flyers. So I'm sure you've seen the tickets. And the flyers that were all over town. This was all done by Ron. He designed the whole thing. He did everything for free. All the printing, and including the sign-in poster. Hopefully everybody, when they came in, they signed the poster back there for Morgan. We're going to send those off to Morgan once the evening is over. So he really gave us the face for this event. When we had the flyers out there, it got people really excited. Now that we had tickets, we had to sell them. As soon as I mentioned the benefit to the ladies at Zach's Pharmacy, the Zach's Pharmacy table is sitting back there, they said, can we sell tickets? And I said, sure. And they certainly did. They sold almost a fifth of all the tickets here. So I want to thank both Carol and Sandy who are here tonight, who are so enthusiastic about this event. Thanks for selling so many tickets. My first choice to have this event was here in Belvedere, New Jersey. I didn't want to have it anywhere else. Paul Hosteman has been so easy to work with over these past few months. He even became one of our ticket sellers for a while until I went back and stole the tickets from you, Paul, because you sold 17 in like 2 days, and I took the rest of them back because I had them sold. That was the point when the ticket sales just took off like a rocket. It's just unbelievable. So thank you, Paul. You've been very, very easy to work with here. He's trying to help me keep the rental costs down, so if you don't drink a whole lot of beer tonight, I can keep the cost down. The PA system that I'm talking to is not owned by the band. We're not a band anymore. So I have a lot of people to thank for the use of this equipment. Dave Phillips Music and Sound loaned us all kinds of stuff. My friend Joe Jancy, who can't be here tonight, lent us his equipment so we actually have monitors so we can hear ourselves sing. And Mark Young offered all of his equipment and his time to be our sound man for the night. The guy back there in the corner behind the controls is Mark Young. He's doing all this equipment and his time for free. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now that you know how we got here, I want to tell you why we're here. We're here to raise money for the family of a 6-year boy named Morgan Pedestris. Morgan is the youngest child of my boss, Lenny. I was hoping they were going to be here tonight, but they couldn't make it. Morgan lives just out of Detroit, Michigan. In September of 2008, when he was 3, Morgan was diagnosed with 2 different kinds of brain cancer. His combination of cancers is so rare, he's a case study for others that follow with similar tumors. He had 3 operations in 3 weeks to remove the 2 tumors. He was then prescribed 6 months of chemotherapy. Unfortunately, the chemotherapy did cause a rare adult kidney disease to Morgan. In April of 2009, Morgan was diagnosed with 2 more tumors in the same area of his brain. In May, he underwent a 4th operation to completely remove both tumors. He recently completed 30 treatments of radiation to his brain and 20 to his spinal cord. But I'm happy to say that Morgan is doing well. He just completed his occupational therapy. And he's continuing with his physical and speech therapy. Morgan was recently selected as one of only 4 children in the country to appear in a future national commercial and promotional video for the YMCA, where he does his swimming as part of his physical therapy. So your support here tonight will help the family with his ongoing medical bills. So thank you again for coming tonight to help support Morgan's family. But I would not be standing here tonight if it weren't for the 4 guys I'm going to introduce to you right now. When I asked each member of the band to reunite for one night to raise money for a little kid they never met, without hesitation, they all said yes. Bandstand started in October of 1982 and ran through February of 1998. Almost 16 years is an exceptionally long time to keep a band together while maintaining full-time jobs. In 1986 alone, we played 112 times. We were very, very popular. Don't applaud that too much. It burned out so much I quit the following year. So many times when people would call for tickets, they would say, I loved you guys back in the 80s, or you played for our high school reunion, or you played for our wedding. I used to follow you guys at Mountain Lake Casino or over at Larry Holmes' Commodore Inn. Oh, I loved you guys. It was great. So it was quite an ego boost. It was very touching to hear all of your stories. I'd like to introduce all the band members to you one by one so you can give them the thanks that they deserve. We have 3 original band members here tonight. I'm one of them. Like I said, I only stayed for 5 years. In fact, of all the guys playing tonight, I stayed with the band the shortest amount of time. I left in 1987, and they didn't bother to replace me. They went from the 5-piece to a 4-piece after that. But first up, as another original member, he was there from day 1 and stayed the entire 16 years. He's the guy who made up the set list every night for every job, including tonight. I would call him the Carl Wilson of the group. He's always level-headed and always organized. Dan and I started performing together back in 1970, 71, something like that. On lead and rhythm guitar and vocals, originally from Belvedere, New Jersey, please welcome Mr. Dan Barrett. Every band member seemed to have a troublemaker. Generally 4 of us go in one direction and there's always that one that kind of goes off somewhere else. Well, that would be the next member I'm going to introduce. Bob was not the original bass player. He was the 3rd bass player, but he stayed the longest. He was a member from 1986 to 1993. I just found out this week that he was only 17 when he joined the band. So we had him playing in bars when he was 17. On bass guitar and vocals, originally from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, please welcome Mr. Bob Yale. His 3rd grade teacher is here tonight, too. Sandy Beck. The next member joined the band about 4 months before I left in 1987. I guess I left because of him? I don't know. And stayed until the band broke up in 1998. Earl was the band's 3rd and final drummer. When the band reunited for a benefit back in 2006, Earl was the guy that put that whole thing together. Earl is definitely the class clown of the band. He's the funniest person I know. And I credit him as the guy who got me interested in music again after I left the band. On drums and vocals, originally from P-Burg, again, Mr. Earl Amy. Last but not least is the final original member. Bob, like Dan, was with the band from the first job to the last. It's insane. He's one of the most dependable people I know. His response is always, let me know where you want me and I'll be there. Bob's connection to my family goes back a long way. In elementary school, his phys ed teacher was my brother. Both Dan and I started playing in bands with Bob back in the early 70s. He was also the best man at my wedding. On keyboards from Hackettstown, New Jersey, Mr. Bob Petty. That wasn't too bad for the formalities, right? All right, here are the rules for the evening. Number one, take lots of pictures. And find some way to get them to me so I can put a presentation together, because I have so many people who can't be here who are asking for photos of what went on tonight. So we don't want it to be too private. Number two, have fun. My God, we're an oldies band. This is fun music, not like today's music, it's fun music. Yeah! Nothing controversial. Number three, drink responsibly. But unfortunately, the more you drink, the better we sound. And number four, arrive home safely. Those are the rules for the evening. The plan tonight, we're going to play 2 long sets and probably a short third set. Probably take like some 10-minute breaks in between, but we want to get as much music in as we possibly can. So once again, thank you so much for coming tonight. Take a deep breath, put on your dancing shoes. It's Saturday night, so let's rip it up.